Hi, welcome to the Gabriel Method Show. I'm John Gabriel, author and creator of the Gabriel Method, a diet-free approach to sustained weight loss. And I'm very happy and pleased to be launching our new DVD series called Lose the Stress, Lose the Weight, Tapping for Weight Loss. And as part of the launch today, we're interviewing tapping expert Leslie Vellios, and we'll discuss Leslie's work and then do a tapping session afterwards. Leslie is a stress management expert who's combined over 25 years of experience in clinical psychotherapy with expertise in EFT to help make clients create dramatic transformations. She's helped children and adults of all ages release stressors which are blocking them from living the lives they most desire. Her expertise includes guiding clients to stop emotional overeating so they can restore a sense of vitality and joy in their lives and help them achieve their most perfect ideal body. Leslie has a master's in social work from Columbia University and is an EFT Level 1 and Level 2 practitioner and a Carol Look certified abundance coach. To learn more about Leslie, you can visit her at our website, www.stresslesswitheft.com. So Leslie, thanks so much for joining us. I'm wondering, I understand that you've struggled with weight and health issues in the past, and I'm wondering how has tapping helped you work through those issues?
So, John, I wanted to share a brief little story of where I was before I even learned about tapping, which really explains how dramatically my life changed because of it.
Sure.
My husband owns a restaurant in New York City, and he was planning to close it for renovations. This was about 9 years ago. And they gave him a budget, and they told him it would be about 3 months. But we really thought that it would be a little longer. And what ended up happening is that what we had not planned for it was that it took 9 months for them to complete the restaurant. And the budget went to 2.5 times what they had told us. But at the same time, I was laid off from my job and we had 3 kids in college.
Oh, no.
So it was probably the most financially difficult time of my life. And I was kind of on a high alert stress state for about 8 months till, they called me back to work. And when I finally stopped to take a breath and assess, the damage that had been done, I realized that for what I thought was like the 50th time in my life, I had gained every pound back plus some of the weight that had taken me 2 years to lose. And not only that, I had like chronic health issues at that point.
Well, I just want to say, Leslie, I just want to say that that's a big that's a major issue, and the focus of the DVD, the tapping DVD that we put together, that stress causes chemistry that causes you to gain weight. So that's exactly our message: is that it's those type of stresses, more so than being, weak or willpower or sabotage, any of those things. The stresses are causing chemistry in your body that will cause you to eat, need, and to store fat. That's exactly our message.
And exactly what happened to me. So I had chronic headaches, I had insomnia, I had developed GI problems, and I was a mess. Physically, not only the weight, and then on top of that, emotionally, not only was I exhausted, but emotionally, I felt terrible. I just felt hopeless and really disappointed at myself. So that only even added more to the stress of how I felt about me. And then a friend calls me up and says, hey, there's this new technique that they're using that they say is phenomenal for stress and weight loss. Do you want to come? And I said, okay, I'll try anything. So we went to this 2-hour workshop, and I'm looking around as people are tapping on their face and their head and under their arm, and they're saying how much they love themselves. And I thought, this is weird. But I started doing it, and I have to tell you, at the end of 2 hours, I literally felt a shift in my body, and a little kernel of hope was born. And the next day, I took out all the material they gave us and I started tapping, and all I tapped on was stress. That's the only thing I was tapping on. Every stressor that occurred during that 9-month period, whether it was the letter that told me I was, unemployed, or it was opening a bill and not having the money, or seeing our life savings go to zero. So there were little stressors and big stressors. That's all I did. And after a while, I realized so many things had changed. So I embarked on a journey with a coach and a tapping buddy and really started working on those core issues. The past and present traumas and stressors that were really the foundation of my emotional eating. But I would say stress, 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 and then everything changed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, no more headaches. I was sleeping well. The GI problems disappeared. And the only thing I took was a probiotic. I didn't see a doctor or anything.
Yeah.
And emotionally, I felt so much better. So I went into this to deal with stress and emotional issue, and my entire life changed. There were things that changed that I wasn't even expecting to change.
I appreciate you sharing that story with us, Leslie, because that's, as I say, very much our message, that the stresses will cause health problems, they'll cause weight problems, they'll cause financial problems too, because when you're so stressed out, you can't think straight and you can't be creative and find creative solutions, and you're in a reactive state, and that causes problems. So that is really our focus in making the DVD that we put together. I'm wondering if you can tell us, for the audience that's not familiar with tapping, if you could just give a brief background on what it is and what it's used for.
It's so funny because I was thinking about that. EFT is such a simple tool. It's so easy to learn, and it's kind of hard to explain. But I was thinking that, so many of us have different obstacles in our life. There's like a problem or something that no matter how hard we work on it, we can't seem to release it. And it really stops us from having that life that you said that we so desire. For me, it was that emotional eating. There are other things that, people are dealing with, like finances or stress of all types or illnesses, or maybe they can't find the man of their dreams, or the man that they found is no longer of their dreams. And all of those issues are impossible to get rid of. Now, imagine if someone told you that there was something that for sure would get rid of those obstacles. I mean, we jump on it, and you know what? That's what EFT is.
Yeah.
EFT is an amazing tool that really helps us tap into the body's healing ability. And what happens is we use our fingertips, right, to tap through the meridians, different meridians in the body. And those meridians are the same place where an acupuncturist would put their needles.
Yeah.
But instead of using needles, we use our fingertips. That's why sometimes they call it needle-free acupuncture. Mm-hmm. And as you're tapping through the meridians, you are verbalizing that obstacle that you have. And all of a sudden, the energy system, because the meridians are attached to the energy pathways in the body, it starts balancing itself, and the problems come up. Sometimes the ones you're dealing with, sometimes it's a file from the past. You're able to tap and release it. And it's amazing the way it happens. I was thinking that we don't really know how it works, but there have been studies that say that cortisol levels are lowered with people that are tapping.
Sure. Absolutely. So many studies. And I know that you had originally worked as a classic, I'm going to say that one more time. We're getting this edited. So, and I know you had originally worked as a classical psychotherapist, and now you do primarily energy medicine. And I'm wondering, do you find that tapping works better and faster than traditional talk therapy?
The short answer is yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's it's a tool that it's so easy and so quick that when you start using it, it not only changes your life in the way that you want, but it also changes your life in the way that you need. The only thing that I would caution is for people who have serious emotional issues, it's always recommended that they get advice from their mental health professional first.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. And so, and how do you use tapping specifically for clients who struggle with weight issues?
So a lot of the clients that come to me come in the same condition that I was in.
Yeah.
So we start exactly where I started. Stress. What are the stressors that caused you to get to the point that you are? Yeah. And all the stressors that also support that, the stressors of feeling like you'll never be able to lose this weight, the stress of all the time that's wasted, that all those feelings and emotions that we have about ourselves, when we're in that battle with weight, cause stress. And that is really the starting point for me with clients.
So you always start with stress, and then from there, because what's interesting is that, and I think that, by the way, I agree with your approach 100%. And as I said, the DVD that we put together, that was the basis of it, is that let's focus on the stresses. But people always want to talk about their cravings, You know that it's the chocolate cake, it's the ice
Right.
cream, and it's self-sabotage. And I find that it's never the chocolate cake, it's never the ice cream, it's never the weakness, never the self-sabotage. It's the stresses and the emotional issues that cause that insatiable hunger. And I lived through that also because there was a period of
Right.
time when I was living in New York going through a very, very stressful period, and I had gained over 200 pounds. And I just knew that it wasn't weakness or lack of willpower or the chocolate, what that was something else was causing the cravings. And for you
Right.
to be targeting stress, that's exactly what our experience is. If you target the stress, then the cravings go away on their own. And then it's a very organic inside out approach rather than focusing on behavior modification. So I think that's really
Exactly.
excellent. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you can lead us through a quick tapping session that's a sample of the type of work that you would do with your clients.
Okay, so I had thought maybe we would do something on stress because I do that so much, but then I thought of something that happens. It's a different type, because stress is the overarching umbrella. There's different emotions underneath it. And I thought of an experience that most of my clients talk about incessantly. It's when they've fallen off the wagon,
Yeah.
or in other words, they had a bad binge, or,
Yeah.
what happened to me, and the devastating disappointment that they feel.
Sure.
And, from that space, you can't create anything. If
Right.
you don't love and accept yourself, if you can't take care of something that don't care about. So I thought that would be a little neat to do something on falling off the wagon, or
And coming back to
over
a place of self-acceptance when you've had.
self-acceptance. Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So you want to be my echo?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we start on the karate chop,
Okay.
even though
Even though
I feel so disappointed
I feel so disappointed
because I overate again
because I overate again
and I didn't want to do it,
and I didn't want to do it,
yet I found myself doing it.
yet I found myself doing it,
And I deeply and completely
and I deeply and completely
love and accept myself anyway,
love and accept myself anyway,
exactly as I am.
exactly as I am.
Even though
Even though
I'm so disappointed,
I'm so disappointed,
I could never keep my word to myself.
I could never keep my word to myself,
And I overate again,
and I overate again,
but I deeply and completely
but I deeply and completely
love and accept myself
love and accept myself
exactly as I am.
exactly as I am.
Even though
Even though
I have this profound disappointment,
I have this profound disappointment,
I'm actually frustrated
I'm actually frustrated
because I keep on doing this to myself.
because I keep on doing this to myself,
But I deeply and completely
but I deeply and completely
love and accept myself anyway,
love and accept myself anyway,
exactly as I am.
exactly as I am.
So let's go through the points. I'm so disappointed.
I'm so disappointed.
I really, really feel disappointed.
I really feel disappointed.
I can't believe I ate again.
I can't believe I ate again.
I just didn't keep my word to myself.
I just didn't keep my word to myself.
I'm so sick of doing
I'm
this.
so sick of doing this.
I can't believe I did it again.
I can't believe I did it again.
All this disappointment,
All this disappointment,
this profound disappointment.
this profound disappointment.
So take a deep breath in. Now, normally I would do that a couple of times. I never asked us to measure the SUDS level,
Yeah,
but you usually will measure the intensity of that disappointment.
yeah.
And then you do a couple of rounds. And when you've gotten yourself about a 2 or a 3, I like to add a positive round. It's a nice way to end.
Let me just say, so two, whereas 10 is like the most disappointed in yourself, 2 or
10
3.
is 10, you're almost devastated
Right, right.
with
So,
yourself.
right. And then you want to, you, each time you do it, it goes down till you're about a 2 or 3. You're okay with
Right.
yourself. Yeah. So we would do that a few rounds and then we got down to that.
And you got down to 2 or 3, and then you're going to add a positive round. So go to your eyebrow. I choose to release all of this disappointment.
I choose to release all this disappointment.
I release all of this disappointment from every cell of my body.
I release all of this disappointment from every cell of my body.
I release all of this disappointment.
I release all of this disappointment.
I choose to let myself off the hook.
I choose to let myself off the hook.
I choose to forgive me.
I choose to forgive me.
It's safe to forgive me.
It's safe to forgive me.
It is safe to forgive me.
It is safe to forgive me.
I choose to forgive myself.
I choose to forgive myself.
And you take another deep breath and you blow it out. And again, that's usually done a couple of times. And it kind of leaves you, I kind of feel, pretty calm and relaxed.
That last one was very powerful for me. I just feel really
Mm,
calm and relaxed in a place of self-acceptance and self-love. So that feels really,
right.
really good.
Forgiveness is a very powerful tool.
Forgiveness is a very powerful tool. It really is.
That's
For
right.
me, I find with weight in general, the more you can let go, the easier it is that your body lets go of weight. There's a correlation, very strong correlation, very powerful. That was really nice, Leslie. So
Thank you
so
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 much.
just before we wrap up, then I'm wondering
Mhm.
if you could tell us and our listeners, the best way that they can connect with you if they want to learn more about the work that you're doing.
So my website is called Stress Less with EFT. So it's STRESSLESS with EFT.com. I love that,
Yeah,
right?
stress less with
My,
EFT.
and my email address is stressless at yahoo dot, with EFT at yahoo.com.
Okay.
And my phone number is 917, it's in the US,
hmm
574
hmm
8525.
Excellent. All right. Well, Leslie, I very much appreciate your time and your expertise and you sharing with our audience. I know that your message is very much dovetails with us that you focus on the stress and that's focusing on the real issues. And it's an important message. So I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to contact you and to learn more about what you're doing and work with you. So thanks very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thanks, John, and thanks for the work you're doing.
My pleasure. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Once again, Leslie's message that stress is the real root cause of emotional eating and overeating is a very powerful one and very much ties into the DVD that we created. And her specific tapping routine that she did is very powerful to help you get past the emotional blockages that can come from overeating and having a binge and helping to release it and move on. So I hope you practice it. I hope you enjoy it. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon. Take care. Thanks.